Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks bringing you the daily Tesla report for Friday, September 1st, 2023. Before I click through the charts, I just want to encourage you to please click like if you haven't already and subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. Share the content, if you would, with friends and colleagues, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos, just like the daily Tesla report. Daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and the long bond ETF, the TLT, as well as two individual stock picks a week in 5 to 10 minute video format that you never see on YouTube, that cater to the 3 to 5 week out to the 3 to 5 month near term investor, always looking for 20% swings or better on those underlying stock picks. This week alone, we put out Netflix and Micron Technology on Thursday. Those two stock picks are there waiting for you to see. All you have to do is sign up for wickedstocks.com. We offer a 5-day free trial up front. So you can sign up for wickedstocks.com, check everything out, including our Netflix and Micron Technology stock picks from this week. Check everything out. If you don't like it within 5 days, you can bow out at no cost to you absolutely whatsoever. So on with the daily Tesla report. I'll start with this chart just to remind you that, a month and a half ago, we came off of this targeted channel top that is now well above the market at 306.13. When we were testing this formation a month and a half ago, and we spent the better part of a month testing it, never closed above it at the end of a week. And as we were testing it, I mentioned that a channel bottom that is presently at 219.12 should be considered in reach within 1 to 2 months. We tested that channel bottom 3 weeks ago, roughly, and have come off of it nicely. And I can show you this image here is really on the daily chart, the same exact images. 221.23 is the channel bottom on the daily chart that I just showed you at 219.12 on the weekly chart. And I'd mentioned how after coming off of this channel bottom, within 2 to 3 months of testing it, we can reach back up to that 306.13 longer term channel top. And so that remains in play. It's just that for the last few days, we've been snagged and we've been anticipating this in the upper 250s to mid 260s. This area was convergent about 3 or 4 days ago. It is widening progressively on a daily basis. The descending two-thirds speed line today, Friday, is 257.06. This former rising long-term one-third speed line is 265.46. So if we push or open today above 257.06, and we did not close above it on Thursday, 265.46 is likely. I would expect the market to top out here on an intraday basis. If we push through 265.46, the market can run into later day. I don't know about 280.93. I don't think that is in reach one way or the other. That is the gap, this high here, going back about a month and a half ago. But what I will say, and we've switched things up just a little bit, I am skewing now toward 257.06 as our trend defining element into later September. In other words, if we settle today above 257.06, that sets off another 2 to 3 week buy signal. It could take a little longer depending on how the market plays out on the way up, but I think it is realistic that within 2 to 3 weeks, by the end of September anyway, a settlement today, Friday, above 257.06 should yield 306.13. Now, there's still a legitimate resistance at 265.46, but I've reduced it just to sort of emphasize the point that if we close above 257.06, we should see the low 300 area within 3 to 5 weeks or less. If you're a more methodical, more conservative, more patient trader, let's say, you might await a settlement above 265.46. I don't have a problem with that. I tend to be a little bit more aggressive, and so if we close today above 257.06, it is go long and stay long into later September unless we close then subsequently back below 257.06. But 265.46 can give the market trouble, and we may actually close above both in one single day, which will make this easier in terms of determining what is the point to settle above. I'm going to say closing above 257.06 is our upward pivot point through the rest of September. Closing above 265.46 will only add to and underscore that idea. And ideally, if we were to get a settlement above 257.06, we also, the very same day, will close above 265.46, which would be essentially sort of a double buy signal into later September. 306.13 then expected within 3 to 5 weeks of doing so. So there is that to the upside. Now, 257.06 is our primary resistance through next week. And we did, on a numeric basis, close higher than this number. We did not close above the speed line. I think that the speed line, I'm going by memory, was around 258.38 or so. We closed around 258.08, so we are just below it. We can ease south, Friday morning and perhaps sell off a bit from 257.06. Or the inverse could occur as well. We could open above 257.06, and then I'm expecting 265.46 intraday, possibly higher within the day. So with the scenario of holding below, that is to say, closing below 257.06, just know that if we cannot close above 257.06, I do think the 221.23 longer-term channel bottom remains in play over the next couple of weeks. Let's work downside today and take a look at the chart here. I do have 252.38. That is this former channel bottom that has been, it has not performed very well until very recently. It contained Wednesday's low. Thursday, we didn't test it. It may well contain intraday selling on Friday. If we break 252.38, I would expect 245.68. So this is really the setup for the day. If we open below 257.06, we can fall to 245.68 intraday, and that is shown here to the right. Opening, holding below 257.06, 252.38 in close reach, able to contain intraday selling, but just know that holding below 257.06 will certainly keep 245.68 in reach today, where a daily low can be placed. But also just keep in mind, as I said earlier, continued daily settlements below 257.06 will keep 221.23 in reach over the next couple of weeks. And so, as we've been testing the speed line, if you have, for instance, reached for 220 or 225 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least several weeks, that is still the play. But if we close above 257.06 today, I would recommend liquidating those out of the money puts and instead reach for a 306 or 310 or 320 even out of the money calls that don't expire. I would go a couple of months out, even though I only expect 3 to 5 weeks for that to occur. I do think you need to maintain, delta, reduce the theta element, the time decay element from the equation. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that needs to be said. I'll show you this chart, 245.68, solid day trade level, by the way. If we open below 257.06, as I'm saying, this level in reach perhaps today, where we can place a daily low. So that is a decent day trade level, and that takes us back to really this chart. So if we open below 257.06, that is a level that can be sold, and we could within the day test 245.68. If we close today below 245.68, that does aggressively pivot the market south into next week, and I would expect this market to sell off possibly by the end of next week. So if we close below 245.68 today, we just might test 221.23 by the end of next week, where we can bottom out through September, possibly the balance of the year. And as I said at the opening of this video, above which 306.13 remains in reach over the next 2 to 3 months. Make that 3 to 5 weeks if we close today above 257.06. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't think there's really anything else that needs to be said. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. Sign up and check out the Micron Technology and Netflix picks this week and all the daily Triple Q and SPY analysis. Over the weekend, we have the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and the long bond ETF, the TLT. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's Tesla. You have a great weekend.